Okay, it's all set.
All right. We will go ahead and call the order at 7:02. Donna, would you like to get us started on attendance?
Absolutely. Justin is here. Tim
Yes.
Teagan, Scott Bowman. I'm here. Andrew Duke, I saw. He's here.
Yep, here.
Okay. Dana.
I'm here.
Okay. Jay.
Hello. Here.
Jay's here. Tori.
Here.
Tori's here. Raphael. John.
Here.
I see Scott just got in. Larry.
Here.
Leah.
Present.
Angela.
Here.
Charles.
Here.
Mike.
Here.
Dave. Franklin. James Harris.
Here.
Colin.
Here.
Okay. We have three absent, so we're good.
Scotty
Four,
Bowman
I'm sorry.
present.
Pardon me. Who just
Scotty
said that?
Bowman's present. Scotty
Yes, I
Bowman.
saw that. Yep.
All right. So everyone should see the agenda on the screen. I will scroll through it. And do we hear any motions pertaining to the agenda?
Move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Essner. All in favor of adopting the agenda as written, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The agenda has been adopted. The previous meeting minutes were sent out via email. Um, would we like to review those previous minutes prior to approval?
Yes, please.
Second.
Just a moment.
I guess I should be ready to do this for you, Justin. I'm not used to people looking at them, but I will start next time, have them ready to pop up.
Not a problem. I just got to pull up your initial email here. All right, that should be coming up in just a moment here. Apologies for the delay. All right, this should be on your screen now. And we had the approval of the agenda in the previous minutes. Charles moved to approve the agenda. Larry second, or that second didn't pass without objection. Committee reports were included here. Under new business, we nominated a convention committee and began the composition of the convention notice. Motion was made to allocate holiday cards for the membership committee. That in the amount of $1,500. And I see Mr. Patel has his hand raised. Did you have a question about the minutes, Mr. Patel?
Yes, in the future and even in this minutes, I'd like to actually have the membership report in the minutes, the PDF. Shows the graphs and history.
Okay,
Certainly, we can get that appended on here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Were there any other questions or concerns regarding the meeting minutes here?
I move to approve.
That was Mr. Gilat.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Minutes are approved. And with that, we will get into officer reports. I sent mine out earlier. Mr. Duke, did you have a report prepared to send to the secretary for recording as well?
No, I do not. We've had very little activity on our accounts. Our money is essentially unchanged.
Thank you for that. As for myself, it's been a busy month for the party, one which has left me with quite a bit to ponder. While it's clear many members still feel the impacts of our division over the past 2 years, it's equally clear that this division has strained member relationships and made the notion of forgiveness a difficult one. As your chair, it's really not my business if you chose to attend any Libertarian event on April 1st, 2023, whether it was in Lansing, Wixom, or somewhere else entirely. What matters is what we're doing today. In any body such as ours, mistakes and disagreements are not only going to happen, they're to be expected. And if we're going to succeed, we must all be adult enough to accept and allow that our members have an opportunity to contribute to the future success of the party. This is why it's critical that we value the time and constructive contributions of every volunteer as we look forward to the 35th State Senate runoff, our national delegate selection, and beyond. Despite these struggles, we do continue to move forward. This week, Michigan elected 2 new Libertarians to local offices. Chris Clark earned a hard-fought seat on the Taylor City Council, And our political director, Scotty Bowman, was elected to the District 4 Police Commissioner in the city of Detroit. I congratulate both individuals on their electoral success. While the government shutdown continues into November, with food assistance hanging in the balance, many across Michigan are facing a difficult holiday season. This serves as a reminder of the truth which libertarians are already aware. A government with the power to feed its population is a government with the power to starve that population. While we celebrate all reduction in the size and scope of our massive government and hope to see a reduction in food prices as the inflationary impacts of these benefits are curtailed, there are a legion of more wasteful programs which this government shutdown could and should be impacting, which have remained relatively or entirely unscathed. While those in DC are fighting over which party is to blame as Thanksgiving draws near, remember both sides of the duopoly have chosen to make this the political football. With that in mind, I'd ask all members and friends of the party who are able to do so, please consider donating to your local food pantry. In Newaygo, our member Dan Hall and his Legion Post have already organized a community food drive, and if you're in that area and able to assist, I'd ask that you do so. If you live elsewhere in the state, there are websites such as findhelp.org that you can consult to reach out to your local pantry and see how you can assist in your area. As we move forward in the coming months, I will be maintaining contact with the National Convention Committee Chair to help attract local speakers and host a successful national convention here in Grand Rapids. If anyone has any input, please submit them to me via email at chair@michiganlp.org. And with that, I'll turn it over to any other officers for reports.
Mr. Chair, could we have the, I'm sorry to interrupt, the agenda on the screen while we're going through stuff, possibly?
Yes, I will get that back up in just a moment here. Thank you, Ms. Daly.
I'm looking for, I was trying to raise my hand.
Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. No, I guess as political director, I should report what you've already acknowledged and what Don already published on the website, which is that, yeah, myself and Chris Clark were both elected. Also, I think we should acknowledge the hard work of Christine Sloan, who made a valiant attempt to get elected in Brighton, but they re-elected all incumbents.
Yes, it was unfortunate. The strength of incumbency was a bit too much there, unfortunately, but Christine did do a wonderful job. I see Mr. Estner's hands up, and then we'll go to Ms. Thornton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have a quick question. At what point is it appropriate for us to ask questions about the reports?
If you would like to ask any questions about the reports, you're free to do so.
I just have one quick question, and it's for Mr. Duke. Did we get the $15,000 back from the attorney that Rodriguez?
No, we have not.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Estner?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay, so for fundraising, we had our meeting. We set basically a rough reoccurring. There's lots of meetings and a lot of volunteers are on multiple committees. So we will have that juggling a little bit, but we did lock down a pretty much a basic time monthly. We discussed doing a silent auction or raffle during the convention, raise money. We were kind of on hold with planning and stuff as once we get all the convention details set. So I'm assuming after this meeting where we discuss the convention proposal and then after the convention committee meets, if we can get a list of things that we can do to help facilitate the convention, make sure it's successful and profitable, any needs that are needed on that end. For activism, we have a member, Zach, who's in the Marshall area. he brought up the Marshall mega site, which is an issue of corporate welfare and local control, where the locals have repeatedly said they did not want this mega site. And it is brought by the MEDC funding, and the state's bringing a lot of money in. So right now there's protests and things, and we have a proposal later on to discuss in regards to that. And then also, I just wanted to bring up, as the chair put in his report, with activism, we have the government shutdown coming in. So please find local food pantries or areas to help people in need. I just put one example in my area of a place that you can help and support. For example, you're able to basically own a shelf in the area to keep it stocked and help volunteer and help people. So it's a good way to reach out to the community by helping those in need around you. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Essner. Mr. Bowman?
Sorry to interject, but I've twice heard libertarians in this discussion use, maybe more than that, use make the statement that the government is shut down. It has not. I've never witnessed our government shutting down ever. All it is a decision to withhold some services, the more popular ones often, and continue other activities, not even necessarily services, that are less popular, in order to manipulate the public.
Very well stated, Mr. Bowman. Very well stated. And if there's nothing further, we'll move into announcements. Did anyone have
hang
any
on,
announcements?
So I'm sorry. Does membership committee have a report? Usually they do.
Oh, I didn't see any hands up.
I think we did receive one in writing,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah, there's a report on membership committee. Are we done with the officer
Yeah.
reports? Is that what I understand?
Yeah.
Officer reports are done?
Yes.
Okay, very good. A membership committee report was just sent out, in fact. So if you look at it, you would see that we have 285 LPMI members at present. That's an increase of 7 from last month. They're pretty much new members. We do have 2 new lifetime members. One, Keith Cavallini's Oakland local. I got to call him, see if we can get to our LPOC meeting. He's right in West Bloomfield here. And then another Oakland guy, Ian Skeltis, who is recurring attendee at our LPOC meeting. So he joined Lifetime. So it's great. 2 new Lifetime members. We did not get a national member report. So we just have the September data, which is 344. Again, this is a separate spreadsheet that is not integrated into CVCRM, and that's a problem. We're trying to communicate with both LPMI and national members, and they're not in Civi. We're not going to be able to communicate with national members. So we got to talk about how we're going to integrate those folks in. Other things on membership report, as far as our discussion points, with the holiday card, Leah has volunteered, like she has done the past couple times, to actually do design work on it. So it was a card that fit in number 10 envelope, and we propose that one side be Leah's design, the other side be the call to convention, because I understand the call to convention is intended for this mailing. That's a separate topic. We can go over, I guess, in old business, the holiday card. As far as the other topics on the membership committee, again, I did send this out, and As far as the minutes go, we still have some issues with Civi CRM, Jamie, that with data export, automatic renewal notification, email limitations. And I did talk to Mr. James Farah, who is having an issue with joining LPMI. It seems to be a problem on his end. Jordan Martin is working with us and calling national members to join the state. And the key point is I need from national memberships that lapse the last 3 years. They would have good data there, hopefully, because Civi CRM is not good anymore since they switched off Civi on national. Aside from that, we already have $1,500 for the holiday card budget. I thought it was 1,000. And we're going to, we recommend we increase dues effective January 1 to 35 annual and 350 life. Just for revenue purposes, plus maybe get a surge at the end of the year of membership before the price increase. Plus the tariffs are having effect, as we know. So anyways, that's the report. Any questions?
I did wonder how, I'm
Go
sorry, I
ahead.
don't have my hand up, but how are we going to handle his request? Does somebody make a motion during the open floor, or can we make
If
that
anyone
motion
wanted
now?
to make such a motion now, they could do so. But I would just interject briefly first, and more for Miss Daly. But about how long do you think you'll need to prepare and design that holiday flyer?
If you give me a deadline, I can have it done by then. What's the time frames? That's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was the deadlines. If the call to convention is to be put inside this holiday card, I would need to know what deadlines I'm working with, and also, I guess, work with the secretary on the wording of the call to convention. I don't mean work with as in work myself, but have that wording. I would prefer require that whoever's in charge of the wording of the call to convention put that together. I don't want to be in charge of messing something like that up.
We're
Certainly.
going over that
In
tonight.
that case, if you could submit the design for that within a week's time, would that be reasonable?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that'd be reasonable in a week's time that I would have the design ready. I would, that's like before Thanksgiving, right? I mean, what's this, the 30 day? This would be within the 30 days, so I guess that'd be mid, the absolute latest time that it would be going out would be what, like the 13th of December? And then we'd have to organize, I'd have to figure out who's stuffing these envelopes, who's getting the labels made, and then the card would just be ready before all that to go through. So I don't know if I could have the design ready by next week.
Mhm.
Maybe December 1st would be more reasonable. But,
We can
I
work
also,
with that.
yeah, I got
If you want to
taken it.
shoot for December 1st, we'll as long as it's in by then, we should be able to stitch it together and get the notice on the backside.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking with membership committee about some of the designs and keeping everybody in the loop as to like getting some feedback or whatever. So maybe I'll include you, Mr. Chair, with the designs since we'll make sure everything fits right.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then if we did have a motion pertaining to the membership
Mr. Chair,
request,
how large, I actually have my hand up. How large is the mailing? How many people are we mailing to? I cannot recall.
it is all current members and members who have lapsed within the last 3 years.
Based on Jeff's table?
Yeah, that's like 650 right there. So I think
Okay,
we
yep.
looked at that. I mean, it's obviously fluctuated over time, but I think it was saying, well, assume 650 for state, but then national, a lot of those are redundant. And then as I mentioned, I don't have a 3 year backlog of who lapsed. If since national transitioned, 6 months ago or so, there's kind of this issue, lag of data. I want National to give me that data, not try to extract it from Civi when it's probably wrong. So National, but again, National's redundancy, so I assume we're gonna mail out about 1,000 of these.
Okay, thanks.
1,000 to 1,200, something like this. I don't have an exact number. Again, I don't know the National.
That's
Thank
getting
you,
into
Jeff.
That's
We'll streamline that communication here. I'll make sure that we get the most current information from National that they have.
Yeah, the current's good, but and that's a lot of duplicate for with state, but the lapse for 3 years is the problem one. That's why we want to get rid of that previously in the bylaws with National. But anyways, that's a separate point. I digress. We need
what math.
lapse National for 3 years.
Sorry.
That's what we need. Okay.
You've got enough pieces. That's 1,000 letters. How is that planning to be inserted? How are you guys going to handle that? That's a lot of pieces. You're getting into the size that maybe I could do.
Yeah, we have a
1,000 pieces.
process for doing it, and it's getting
Good.
bigger over time. So, but it's usually assembly line process we have.
Hey, if that's your still, that's about 1,000, 1,200, Jeff. I mean, I'm thinking it's not quite large enough to probably ship out if you guys have it handled. So that's good. I was just if it's too cumbersome, that's different. But if you've got to figure it out, fine. Good.
Well, it's a bit cumbersome. Don't
I
get
was
me
going to say
wrong.
it's cumbersome, but we can handle it.
Yeah, I think if we go forward and get over 1,000, maybe we need to recruit your services, Jay, or some other direct mailers or something. Anyways, that's more pricey, I think. So we're doing the cheap route here.
No, I would do it for free.
Oh,
I could insert. Oh, I could insert it for free. I'm not looking for money. Okay, we can get this stuff. I can run it through some folders, and we can get it inserted in probably an hour, maybe hour and a half. At the
I
most.
love that.
Plus, if I need the information, and plus, if you have the, if you got the addresses obviously on file, we can put the address. We can directly address the pieces on the envelope. I think.
All right, how about this? How about Jay and Mr. Patel talk about that nuance
Yep.
and see if it's something that we can work out?
Yeah, and Jeff knows how I'll be passing it on to somebody. But yeah,
Why don't you
if it
guys
works-
talk about it
Okay,
after
very
this
good.
meeting
We'll
sometime?
talk about it once we get the documentation together and figure out what we're doing. So we'll go from there. Yeah.
Thank you. And Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I had a question for Mr. Patel. Our requirement for sending out notices to conventions, I think in the past we have done people who have expired state memberships within the last 3 years. Will that affect the number of cards being sent out?
Yeah, we know the number of state members that's in Civi. I mean, we've been using Civi for 6, 7 years now, so we have that data.
Well, I'm wondering about the need to send it to some people who have expired, which we usually do when we're sending out convention notices.
Right. Yeah, lapsed members, if they were lapsed within 3 years, we send a notice to them. That's right.
Okay. And it's still going to be in the ballpark of 1,000, you're thinking?
Yeah, including nationals, which some are obviously redundant to state.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All set with membership?
Well, I was gonna make a motion, if it's appropriate, to increase the membership dues, the annual dues to $35 and lifetime dues to $350.
Seconded.
Is this to be effective January 1st, pursuant to the recommendation?
Yes.
All right. Make sure that gets recorded with the motion. Do we have any
Yes.
discussion on the matter?
I mean, our impetus is basically membership's been static for a long time as far as the cost, and stamps have gone up significantly. We need more revenue here. I don't think it's going to break anybody's budget. It's really not a tremendous amount of money for annual or lifetime. So anyways, but hey, that's our position, but obviously there's counter arguments to keeping it as is, so.
I'm not
Thank
sure we
you,
want to
Mr.
keep
Patel.
it. Could we possibly increase by the 35 and then maybe only go up to 300, just to kind of give people a incentive to join for lifetime? Bird in hand.
I'd rather make a lifetime higher because once people join lifetime, they don't seem to
Never pay
contribute
again.
anymore.
Yeah.
They're done.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. True.
So to answer the question, you could make a motion to amend, if you wanted to do so,
I
Jay,
will
but
not do
Ms. Thornton's hand was
Yeah.
up first.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to speak in favor of this motion, mostly for the reasons that Mr. Patel has already gone over. Our costs are higher, inflation, everything is higher. Our dues have been locked in for an incredible amount of time. I don't even know how long it's been, but and I would hope that we could get the announcement out and maybe as part of the holiday thing to encourage people to join sooner rather than later. Especially people who are used to coming to convention, finding out that it's 35 instead of 25 would be kind of a rude shock. So if we can minimize that, it would be good. But I will be voting for this motion, and I would encourage my fellow members to do the same.
Thank you. With that, do we have any further discussion? Possibly any opposition?
And the Fed.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of increasing the membership fees to $35 annually and $350 for a lifetime membership effective January 1st, 2026, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. With that, that will move us into announcements. If there are no further committee reports, I do not see our legislative chair here this evening. I do know that the legislative committee is actively seeking additional members. If anyone's interested, please reach out to Adam Childress. And with that, if anyone has any announcements, by all means, raise your hand. Going once, twice, and member comments. I see we have a couple of members here that are not LEC members. If any of those would like to speak, please raise your hand, and we'll go to Mr. Evans first.
You're muted if you're talking.
Yes, I was. Thank you. Sorry. Just wanted to congratulate Scotty and Chris on their election victories. Great work on that. And I just wanted to remind everyone that Steve, Kara, and co-sponsors did bring up a pair of bills this week to end the Economic Development Corporation in Michigan.
Yes.
Those bill numbers are 5243 and 5244. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Did any other members have anything to add? Hearing none, we'll move into the convention committee proposal. It will be on your screen here in just a moment. The proposed date for the 2025 National Delegate Selection Convention is Saturday, January 17th, 2026. This is a gathering of delegates, members, and guests from across the state to conduct official business, elect delegates, and build momentum for the upcoming cycle. Selecting the right venue is critical, not only for professionalism and convenience, but for the attendee comfort and safety, especially given Michigan's unpredictable January weather. The H Hotel was selected from a number of qualified venues, but in the opinion of the committee, this is the most suitable to cover all of our requested amenities. And on your screen, you'll see the venue information here. We do have a classroom capacity of 120 with a maximum of 300 should we get a full delegate turnout. We're anticipating 75 paying members and additional guests. On site will be a full service hotel with guest rooms, and there is a room package available. And this will be centrally located with pretty easy access to US 10 and 75 nearby. The financial request will be a 50% deposit of $2,650. This figure is based on an anticipated attendance of 75 guests and covers the space rental and initial commitment. The exact final costs will depend on the food and beverage selections, any audio-visual needs, and any room block negotiations as they evolve. There is an image of the venue facility here. And if there are any questions, now would be a wonderful time to raise your hands. Mr. Jasko.
No questions, Mr. Chairman, but just a comment. I congratulate the committee. Aesthetically, this is a very nice hotel. I happened, incidentally, to stay there about 2 weeks after the Central Michigan football game, and I was really impressed. I was looking forward to coming back. So, nice choice, you guys. I give you a lot of credit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jasko. Ms. Carver.
Offhand, do we know how many people attended the last delegate convention?
It was in the neighborhood of 120.
Okay, but it says that it's 120 would be their max if we did have that many.
The room maximum is 300, actually.
Oh, my bad. All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. With that, do I hear a motion to approve the release of the funds to secure the venue and sign the contract for the convention venue? Ms. Daly?
I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second it.
It has been moved and seconded. Do we have any further discussion on this motion?
What is the date that needs to have the deposit paid?
I believe it was November 15th. Just one moment.
Up a little bit, 13th, I think.
Yep, November 13th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jasko, was your hand still up from earlier?
Oh, my apologies, Mr. Chair. I'll take it down.
Oh, not a problem. Mr. Patel, did you have something to add? Jeff?
Sorry, I'm muted.
Oh, not a problem. Yeah,
my question was regarding what the call to convention will consist of. What is the agenda or business? Because I'm just wondering, is one day sufficient?
one day should be sufficient. It will be a bit of a busy day, but I do believe we'll be able to get through all the necessary business.
Which is national delegate nominating and anything else?
There will be a couple of other items. So just one moment. That actually is moving ahead into the next section of things. But what we would be looking at is the selection of the 35th state Senate candidate at minimum district caucus of District 12, as Mr. Harris was appointed. That would be up for election. And then there would also be the investigatory or the trial committee report in executive session.
Okay, thanks. You one day is sufficient for that. business then. I heard rumbling the state candidate nominee convention would be there as well, but that's gonna be another convention.
Well, that
For
will just
candidates.
be a brief portion of things. It will only consist of the members in the 35th district, of which there are not many, as they select their candidate.
Right, so there'll be another convention later this year, candidate nominee convention.
Oh,
Or
yes,
later.
for all
Yeah.
the other
Okay.
candidates.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thanks. That was my only
Yep,
question.
sorry for any
Thanks.
confusion there, Jeff. All right. Mr. Johnson's raised his hand. We do have a motion on the table.
Well, I just had another question regarding the agenda. Will we be doing any, I forget what we call it, where we endorse some of the candidates early?
That is pursuant to the bylaws, something that will be on the agenda. And any agenda items this board would like to set, we can do so up next following this motion here.
Sure.
All right. Do we have any discussion on the motion itself before we go to a vote? All in favor of authorizing the expenditure to enter into the contract with the H Hotel for a convention on January 17th, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Motion passes. With that, we will get back to the agenda here for everybody. Reviewing and finalizing the convention notice. So that will be the point where we determine all items of business. So as I mentioned, pursuant to the bylaws, we will be selecting national delegates. We will be permitted to endorse candidates for statewide offices. We will also be conducting the continuation of the trial committee in executive session. And as mentioned, the district caucus is required by the bylaws. Now, at this time, the body could also choose to add anything else to that agenda, but those are the necessary items of business before us. With that, I see Ms. Carver has her hand up.
I would like to see us add resolutions to this. Do I need to make a motion?
Just to ensure that there's no challenges to it, we would want to add that to the agenda. If you want to make a motion to do so, by all means.
I move that we add resolutions to the convention agenda.
I will second that motion.
All right. Do we have any opposition? Any discussion? All in favor of adding resolutions to the agenda, please say aye.
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 Any opposition? Motion passes. Resolutions will also be on the agenda. Do we have any further discussion regarding the agenda? Seeing and hearing none, that should be sufficient to finalize our notice with the necessary details from that previous vote. Is there any opposition to doing so? Hearing none, notice will be sent out. I'm sorry?
Yeah, this is Scotty. I was just wondering, do we already have platform on there?
We do not. If you'd like to add platform, we can certainly establish a platform committee this evening, and they're free to make recommendations in January.
I would like to move to do that.
We have a motion on the floor to establish a platform committee. Does that motion have a second?
I'll second.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the establishment of a platform committee? Ms. Daly?
Yeah, I'm just kind of concerned about this being a one-day convention. We already have a lot of business to go through. We had a platform committee already this year that had done a lot of work that basically just got shut down at the last convention. So I'm just worried about people wasting their time on committees to work on something that we're not going to have time for in January. Now we're also going to have, another convention later this year, not to mention the national convention. So, and isn't platform and, that's usually prescribed for the conventions in the odd years. So there's a lot to cram in the even year here coming up. I just don't think it would be a valuable amount of time for us to be spending on when we have a lot of business for January.
Thank you, Ms. Daly. And I see Mr. Johnson's hand up.
Yeah, I would yield the floor to someone who wants to speak in favor, since that's usually the order that's done, but because I wish to speak.
Certainly. Yes, I was just going in order of hands raised, but Mr. Bowman, the motion was yours.
Yeah, I'd like to amend my motion if that's possible. Is that in order?
You can propose an amendment. Yes.
Okay, and I'm also gonna speak to the motion more fully after I do that. Now, so that's two things. Okay, I would like to amend to include the platform report that we did not get to hear at the last convention with this year. And so, and if there's additional planks to be proposed, so be it. But I think that would be appropriate to at least consider the proposals that people had worked on at that time. Regarding the general assertion that this is an odd year activity, having been a member since roughly I guess 1988-ish, 87, I can say that it has generally been on every statewide convention's agenda until recently.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. And Mr. Johnson, we'll go back to you, and then Ms. Thornton.
Yes. Since we established these, we usually hold these national nominating conventions in like March. We're holding it a little early this year. But since we started having those, we've always had a very limited agenda, and neither bylaws nor platform has generally been on it. We have reserved those for the summer conventions, which are often 2-day conventions and have a lot more room for that. I do agree that waiting for an odd numbered year is not necessary, but I think this is something that definitely could wait until we have our candidate nominating convention later in this year, because it is a one-day convention and we don't want to try and cram the agenda too full. Although I do agree with Scotty's assertion that we should look at the material that's already been worked on. There's no reason to throw out all that work that's already been done, but I believe that can be done this spring. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Thornton?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. My concern here is probably something that you're going to need to rule on, and it goes back to something that Ms. Daly said. It is my understanding that according to Roner, if the bylaws call for something to happen which again, there is a platform committee specified for every other year, that you can't do it outside of those parameters. So I think that she may be right. Having a platform committee at this convention may indeed violate our bylaws, and I would request that you would make a ruling on that.
All right, I'm going to open the floor to Mr. Duke while I review the bylaws, just because I don't want to rule out of turn. So, Mr. Duke, if you have anything to add while I do so.
I am seconding Scotty's amendment. I like just hearing the platform from last convention, all the work that was done. I'm not in favor of forming a new platform committee. So initially I was not excited about Scotty's original motion, but I love the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. All right, so sorry to keep you all waiting on this. Under section 6(5) of the bylaws, it states, and this is the only part where a platform is mentioned, majority shall rule at the convention except for the platform and resolutions of the party, which shall require a 2/3 vote of those present or as otherwise required by these bylaws. As for let's see, where is it? The odd numbered year requirement only mentions the bylaws. So section 12, subsection 1, these bylaws may be amended by a 2/3 vote of the delegates present at a convention occurring in an odd numbered year only. So while bylaws are placed in an odd numbered year only, I would rule that it is in order, though, as others have mentioned, there may or may not be sufficient time, and that would be something to consider. That being said, if there's any further comments on this, or an appeal to my ruling, the floor is open for either. With that being said, we will proceed to a vote on the amended motion. And Scotty, would you please restate your amended motion just so that we can get it down correctly?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to restate it in a way that may, and it be based upon the way the seconder interpreted it. I'm going to follow through with that to effectively make the report that was not heard at the last regular convention, the report for this convention, so we don't have to form a new committee. So that would be my amendment. And so I guess the motion as a whole would be as follows: that I move to include platform on the agenda of this upcoming convention, and to have the platform report be the platform report that was not heard at the previous convention in Port Huron.
All right, that being the motion on the floor, I do see Mr. Gilat's hands up. Did you have anything to add, Jay?
Yeah, you do realize this saves no time. I mean, it means no committee, no work for that. That's great, but it'll save no time at convention. And it may cause more time. The real issue is going to be whether we have to just once again move to postpone because of out of time, because somebody calls orders of the day, which can easily happen. So put it on there, but either way, it's really not about what has to be done now. It's about how long it's going to take to get through the platform recommendations. It's not a report. We have to vote on stuff. So.
Thank you, Jay.
If you heard all that,
With
I'm sorry.
that,
Yeah.
Oh, not a problem. With that, we will, I see no further comments. So we will proceed to a vote. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry?
I was wondering if I should do a roll call on this. It seems sort of divided, but
Yeah, I'll pull up the sheet here and we'll do it on the screen. All right. So, all in favor of Mr. Bowman's motion to allow the platform committee to continue their presentation from this previous regular convention at the National Delegate Selection Convention in January. Ms. Secretary, if you would call the roll.
Okay, I have Kim absent. Scott?
Aye.
Okay, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a no. I don't think we have time. Dana?
No.
Jay?
Aye, we'll just have to, orders of the day will blow it off, but aye, sorry.
Tori?
Sure.
Yes.
Raphael?
Yes.
John?
No.
Larry?
No.
Leah?
Yes.
Angela?
No.
Charles?
No.
Mike?
No.
Colin is gone, correct? I'm counting 6 to 7, 6 yeses, so it fails.
Mr. Harris?
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I missed that.
That you were a no, Mr. Harris?
Correct. I am a no.
And
Okay.
Jay, could I have your vote again? I didn't catch it.
It was yes.
Just making sure. Motion fails 6 to 8. I will abstain.
Okay.
This is the amendment to the motion, right?
Yes, this was the amendment. And now we'll go back to the main motion, which was seconded. Is there any further discussion before we proceed to a vote there?
Restate the motion, please.
Did you want me to restate it? I wrote
The
it down.
motion was to establish a platform committee to devise a platform report at this upcoming convention. Correct,
Oh, that
Scotty?
was the original motion, because yeah, this is
Am I
totally
correct,
different.
Scotty?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So with that, we will also do a roll call here.
Okay,
And
Scott,
Aye.
Andrew,
No.
I'm a no. Dana,
No.
Jay,
No.
Tori.
Sorry, can you repeat it? I got confused between the motion and the
Yeah, it totally
amendment to the
changed it.
motion.
Once the amendment did not pass, it totally changed the motion. The motion is that we add a platform committee to the agenda and establish a platform committee tonight.
No.
Raphael,
I will be a no on that as well.
John,
I'm sorry, no.
Larry,
No.
Leah,
No.
Angela,
No.
Charles,
No.
Mike.
No.
Oh, Colin's gone. So we have 1 to 12.
Mr. Harris?
Oh, what? Yeah, he's not on my list. I need to add him. Sorry. James, is he muted? James Harris?
he is,
Yes, sorry.
Mr.
Yes, that's a no. No.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. So that makes it
All right.
1 to 13.
Yeah, motion fails. I'll abstain here as well. So we will not be holding platform at this upcoming convention. We can consider doing so at the candidate nominated convention later in the year. With that, Were there any other requested additions or modifications to the agenda that would need to be noticed to all affiliates? All right. Do I hear a motion to populate the relevant convention details into the notice that we had drafted at our last meeting and send it out to all affiliates here within the next couple of days to be in time for the
Before we
68
do that,
notice?
can you, Jamie has a question in chat. She's wanting to know if there's vacancies in 11 and 13.
There are not. Mr. Franklin was at our last meeting, so there have not
He
been three missed
was?
meetings.
Was he
He
at the
was in
last one?
attendance briefly at our last regular meeting. And Mr. Fitzgerald was here this evening, so no one has missed 3 consecutive regular meetings.
I have the minutes. I have the minutes that we just approved that he was absent last meeting.
Okay. I would
I have
have
not
to review
seen
all
him in a
the.
long time. Anyway, we can review the recording to be sure. He
We
might
can
have
review
popped in.
that, and I can review a couple. We can review the last 3 regular meeting minutes. So
Yeah, I did before this, but I just
Point of
stopped.
information.
yes,
And actually this I guess should be noticed on the agenda, and it didn't occur to me till that came up. And actually I saw a comment to this effect also. James Harris filled a vacancy on the 12th.
We already mentioned that. We already mentioned that.
yes, that was mentioned previously. That will be included in the notice.
Okay, thank you.
Can we do like an orders of the day? I don't even know where we're at here.
At this point, we are seeking to approve the convention notice as we've modified it.
So
we are.
moved.
Second.
I thought we already, did we not already do that? No, we didn't vote on it, did we? Okay. Who made
Correct,
that
yes.
motion?
Leah made it, Larry seconded.
Okay. All right.
All right. Do we have any further discussion before we go to a vote? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Next order of business will be Mr. Duke and I have been looking into relocating the party PO box to a location that's more accommodating to our physical location in the state. And the board, we would seek authorization from the board to go ahead and relocate the PO box. Mr. Duke, did you have a chance to review my email? And had you made any final decision on your preferred location?
I'll just speak to the info I've put together.
Certainly.
The current, well, first off, I'm comparing apples to apples. I'll assume all boxes are the smallest and cheapest, because then they would all proportionally go up if we got a larger box. The one in Royal Oak is $188 a year. And the 3 that are more convenient for Justin and myself would be Battle Creek at $192, Marshall at $106, and Ceresco at $60. I would opt for the cheapest. It is pretty much in between the two of us.
All right. So with that, I would interpret that as a motion to relocate the party PO box to Ceresco.
That is the motion I am making.
All right,
Second.
Mr. Johnson.
I have some inquiries about where that is located because obviously I think changing our PO box location every 2 years is not really practical. Situationally, where does that place us within the state so that maybe when we do change administrations, we don't necessarily feel a need to change the box again? I do like the fact that I didn't realize that different post offices would have different prices. I do like the price, but I'm a little concerned about bouncing it around a lot, which could be not a good thing. But if it's reasonably centrally located, that obviously makes it better.
Did I ask for the name of that town again for the minutes?
Ceresco, Ceresco.
Okay.
And as far as the location, it is more central than Royal Oak. But it is south. So it's right just outside of Battle Creek.
CER
ESCO.
I can pull it up on the screen here. Hold on.
You sure that's not a K? Oh, never mind.
Ceresco. No, it's not a K. One moment here, and I'll get the right screen shared. This is their location on the map here. Let's go ahead here.
I got Ceresco, Nebraska. Guess I better modify that search.
Hey, that's a fun place.
Sounds fun.
Oh, okay. So east of Battle Creek, off of 69 and 94.
It's by Marshall, Michigan.
Okay.
Can you just
right
forward the current box to wherever you need it to go? Like, why get a new box?
You can forward for 1 year at a time.
It would seem like keeping the same box so we don't have to update a bunch of administrative paperwork every couple of years, like someone mentioned, and just forwarding it would be appropriate.
There we go.
Well, we can only do that for a year anyway.
Oh, you can't do it like renew?
I think you do it for when I moved, I could do it for 6 months and renew it for 6 months. But I'm not saying that. Maybe that's different areas. I don't know.
No, they don't want to keep doing that work. That the postal service will do it for a while, but then they're going to say, you know what? We don't want to have to keep forwarding this. That's a step
What
for
about
them.
UPS postal service
Get here.
boxes or FedEx?
Where is the current box? East Lansing?
Royal Oak.
Royal Oak. Oh, wait. Well, that's not conveniently located either.
All right, Mr. Jaskov, your hand was up next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, this may be a secondary consideration, but I do wonder about branding purposes. When people see that address, and nothing against the fine community of Ceresco, but it seems that several of us have never heard of this community. It does appear a little bit, I don't know, it doesn't carry the same weight, if you will. Royal Oak, obviously, and Marshall are well-known entities. I just throw that out there.
Thank you, Mr. Jaskov. Worth considering. And Mr. Bowman?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mr. Duke could answer this, or anyone else. The if we switch PO boxes, will all of the mail for a considerable amount of time? Because we got a lot of lit out there with a PO box on it, and for people that are of the snail mailing ilk, they might, like a year or two from now, send mail to that PO box in Royal Oak. Will that mail be forwarded to the new location in Ceresco if that were to happen?
We would set up forwarding. Mr. Saliba?
I just wanted to point out that in the past, we've also just had a member who lived closer to the Royal Oak post office volunteer and pick it up and forward it along as needed.
Are you volunteering?
Thank you.
I would if I had to.
Doesn't the Postal Service have a scan your mail and email it to you option now?
So I can answer that. You're partially right. Yes, you can see the envelope. They scan it, but they're not going to open your mail and send you what's inside via a PDF.
All right. I'm not sure if people have not taken their hands down yet. We do have two members who have their hands up, which would like to speak. Mr. Patel, if there's no objection, you have the floor.
Yes, I've been the one basically who's been going to Royal Oak most of the time in the last year and a half, 2 years. I didn't consider that part of my responsibility, but I did do it. Not as frequently as probably needed. Somebody needs to attend to that probably at least every other week, if not sooner than that. And I want to advise the bulk of the mail we get is return addresses from mass mailings. And I am the one processing those presently. I have to go in Civi and make sure that address is noted as invalid. So I don't, aside from that, there are checks that come in there, with the holiday card going out. I'd rather change the PO box after that holiday card goes out, since basically we're going to get receipts of donations, and then I would typically take those donations and then put it in Civi and then mail a check to the treasurer. I guess I'm not really in favor of moving it at this point in time. I don't know what the reason is. Cheaper, maybe closer to Mr. Duke. But I'm willing to go, I'd like to change it till after the 1st if possible, if that's the intent, after the holiday card. Just so we can deal with all these return addresses. That's my comment on this issue. I've been the one dealing with the PO box most of all because I'm relatively close to it. So,
I would have no objection to that as as an amendment here. We could certainly hold off if necessary, and I think that would be prudent. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I make a motion to table consideration of moving our PO box to the February regular meeting of the LEC.
I'd second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Any discussion on the motion? Or, I'm sorry, it's table motion, so there is no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? Motion is hereby tabled.
Point of information, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Is there an impending expiration that would cause some difficulty with that? Will we need to renew?
That would be a question I would defer to Mr. Duke. But I do not believe so. I haven't gotten any renewal notices.
Okay.
I would have to investigate because I'm in the same boat. I don't have any new info about renewing.
Do you know when we last paid?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Ms. Thornton?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I wasn't sure from Mr. Patel's tone. Is he okay with being the one that goes to pick up the mail every so often? Because I'm fine leaving it
Yes.
to him.
I'll continue picking it up till the end of the year. Or probably into January until we get all the returns.
What about after that?
Well, I think at that point you should probably revisit this. Proposal to move it. As long as it's in Royal Oak, I'll pick it up. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Thank you for your service.
And with that, we will be on to the next order of business. which is whether or not we would like to establish a committee for the Libby Awards during the convention banquet dinner.
Ooh.
Do I hear a motion to establish such committee?
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Esther?
Well, one, I wondered if we could put the agenda back up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Coming up now. Sorry.
Yeah. And I haven't been involved in the Liberty Awards in the past, but I was wondering if that's something that like the fundraising committee can do, because I know in the past, like I attended and there was money involved and stuff like that. So do we have to have a separate committee for it? I don't care either way.
I believe it's traditionally been done by an independent committee, but I will leave that to the board to discuss because I honestly don't have a thorough knowledge of the history of the award ceremony. Mr. Gilat?
Sorry. Charles, I'm not sure whether that does fit necessarily with what we're trying to do. So, I mean, it seems different from what I was thinking we were going to do on fundraising, but if it can be described in a way that makes sense, I guess, sure. But I'm not sure what it means to be on the Libby committee to convention, just nominating people. I really don't know what that responsibility is. So.
In this case, if it were held alongside the convention, the responsibility would be selecting the award recipients.
So I can nominate
And
myself.
so I tend to agree with you, Jay, in this particular issue. While we can fundraise around the Libbies, I don't know that it's fundraising as to who receives the awards. Ms. Carver?
I just noticed Scott's hands up. He is like the Libby guru, so I will let him go.
Mr. Bowman?
I don't know if I'm so much a Libby guru, so much as simply someone who's been around since the first one, and actually the variations on awards that preceded the more regular Libby awards. But actually, they had at one point. I mean, initially it was a separate event for fundraising purposes. Eventually, it got merged with convention, I guess, just because we figured people had limited time on their hands. It would improve attendance and so forth. Also, it was typically late in the year, like the winter, when the year had pretty much concluded and we were giving awards for that year. Then it ended up being kind of in the early spring, and that created kind of the odd thing that we had the awards in one year, but it was for achievements in the previous year. This bringing it, since our convention is exceptionally early in February, it actually works quite well to award Libbies for accomplishments in 2025 and to call that a 2025 Libby Award. And it being effectively so early in 2026. So I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone posted that it's January. Okay, I'm getting mixed up on my date. But anyway, either way, in principle, it makes sense as far as awarding people for 2025. Since it is combined with the convention and the convention committee is already working on dinner, I don't see any reason. It actually is lighter. The goal, the duties then of the Libby Award Committee actually would be as follows. One, select recipients. Two, nominate, or actually, let me put it this way. They have to put out a notice to people that the committee is formed and is accepting nominations. The committee receives nominations. The committee secretly chooses recipients. The committee then make sure they can contact said recipients, because if they can't contact them, to hopefully invite them to show up for the award, then that would, of course, be a problem. Since we already got the convention committee planning the dinner, they wouldn't have to select a speaker. There's often a special speaker, but if we combine it with the banquet, then that would probably be covered by the convention committee. And then finally, they have to procure the objects, the awards that they're actually giving the people. Typically, then someone, and here's a matter that at one event, I remember someone not knowing and walking up to me at the last minute and going, "Can you contact Kevin Dietz to get him over here?" And he's like a news broadcaster on WDIV. And obviously he couldn't do it last minute. So the point is, the other factor is that the winner is actually secretly informed and invited by a committee member, usually through the nominee, the person who nominated that person. So I think I've actually beat this to death and explained it in great detail. I'd be open to more questions if you have them.
All right. Did anyone have any further discussion on the matter? The motion has been moved and seconded, so we will proceed to a vote. All in favor of establishing a Libby Awards Committee, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Motion passes without objection. We now have a motion from Jay from the Fundraising Committee. Mr. Jalal, the floor is yours.
Can I back up a second? Are we going to appoint the committee or tonight or the Libby committee, or is that later in the meeting?
We can do that now or later in the meeting. Good point, Donna. My apologies. Given the eloquent description of the process that he just offered, I would motion that we make Mr. Bowman the chair of the Libby Awards Committee this year.
Second.
I would decline unless no one else can step up to do it. I'd like to open up the floor for other possible nominations.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bowman. By show of hands, do we have any volunteers? Going once, twice. Looks like the job is yours, Mr. Bowman.
Thank you. I hope I have a very good group of committee volunteers who can carry that weight for me.
Certainly. Would anyone like to volunteer for that committee now? See 3 hands up in chat. Just to confirm, we've got Dana Carver, Angela Thornton, and Michelle Gregor. Is it all 3 of your intentions to volunteer for the committee?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Carver?
I was also wondering if we could open this up to the membership, because it's not always been board members upon this committee before.
We certainly could. If you'd like to make a... All right.
We have a newsletter
as the chair of the
coming out.
committee, we can include that in the newsletter, Scotty. We'll make sure that all members do receive notice of that. As of now, looks like you have 4 members on that committee. And as long as I'm available, I would be happy to attend as well.
Okay, I have Dana, Michelle, myself, and whom?
Angela Thornton.
Okay. And you. Okay. All right.
All right. And thanks again, Donna, for that. And now, sorry, Mr. Gillot, the floor is yours.
Justin, you described what I was going to do is make a motion. This can't be a motion. You can't make a motion requiring anybody to do anything individually. That's not what this can be. But I brought this up in our fundraising committee as something that I would like to suggest and seriously suggest. I think Charlie's willing to do it. I know that it's my idea. I love this idea. And the idea is that everybody commit to a $5 a month pledge to the state party. $5 a month. It's nothing. And if you have a checking account, it's something that is easily done. It has very little cost other than that, and it's something that we can hold up to others and say, this is what the board is doing. This is what we'd like you to do. 10 people all year long. That's $600. Not a huge amount of money, but it's a commitment. It's skin in the game, and that's really the only point, is to say that it's worth it. That we're all not only board members. We show up once a month, but we also have a little skin in the game. Not much. Do more if you want, but $5 a month is $60 a year spread over 12 months. I like to suggest that because as a fundraising effort, it's something that can't be a motion, but it can be an initiative, and it can be a campaign. It can be something that we either agree to as a board, that we like the idea, or not. It can be I don't know if that can even be a resolution. I don't think it's fair to make a resolution asking people to give money. I just don't. But as an issue that we can discuss as board members, yes, to decide to do individually. And I just like to bring it up and see what people think of that. So I know I'm going to do it, if not more. I haven't given money to say. And to Jeff's point, I became a state lifestyle member years ago, and I did it clearly, partly because I knew I was done. I was good. And I don't think I've given anything to the state since then. And that's not right. So this is a way to get people who maybe already life members. And we can put this out to other life members, the people who are not, who they've gone away. We can make this a little appeal to the people who are gone. $5 a month, folks. Many of the people who are gone can clearly afford it. $5 a month.
I think we should also offer like a one-time suggestion, because $5 a month is sort of annoying, banking wise.
You really
I mean,
think you stick it in your automatic thing? You don't just, I do everything automatically. You could be right about that.
I do everything automatically, but I also keep track, and I'd have to enter five. I
You
just
might be
think
more
that
than I am.
you could give people an option.
Sure. The idea is malleable, okay? I love the idea of $5 a month, because from my standpoint, from where I'm sitting, it seems like the easiest way to do it. And maybe I'm wrong, but it's so. I try to make it that way in such a way that that is completely painless. That's the point. That is meant to be not meaningless, but painless.
So would you be investigating who does this, or just making a suggestion, or or keeping track, or how does that?
I have spies, and I have access to your private accounts. I will realize when this comes in. No. Well, first off, this is not a contest. This is not a shaming thing. This is nothing like that. If it even smacks of that, it'll fail. It's wrong. So I'm not saying that anybody should know. I mean, who's going to know? The treasurer knows. The treasurer knows where the money comes in, and he's going to know. That's impossible for Andrew not to know. Having said that, other than that, it's a thing to discuss, and it's a thing to either we mutually agree to, or we decide why it's a bad idea. And those of us who think it's a good idea may do it. If we get enough, I think it's a critical mass that it becomes not just what we're giving to the party, but it's what we're saying to others about what our purpose is. And so it can be used as marketing, as publicity.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How would we let others know who? How would we let others know who gave, or that we gave?
Because who agreed? Because who agreed? Because who says, yeah, I'm going to do it? Just because of who? Just because of the people who say, yes, I'm going to do it. That's all. Now, there's no way to. I mean, Andrew might know if somebody was like scamming on it, but he's not going to say anything because it's not his place. It's the idea. Okay.
Yeah. No, I like the idea.
So is it a workable idea? And what do other people think? So Sorry.
All right. Well, I definitely would like to see something along those lines, just encouraging recurring donations, perhaps in the newsletter. Maybe you and Donna could work out something like that along those lines, Jay. So we could share that, request as well. I generally support donating to the party. Think
Well,
it's
I do like the
a
idea.
good spirited idea.
Others have
But I
their
do see
hands
some
up.
hands up, so I will go to Mr. Essner first.
Can Scotty talk first? I'll talk right after Scotty.
Okay.
Yeah. Given that now, Jay made a life member thing years ago, and now he's talking about 5 a month. Well, I just did it like at the conclusion of the vote to raise the dues. So, I'm not inclined to be pitching in $5 right after doing that this month and next month. Maybe sometime next year I can start doing that, but it's a bit too early for me after I just shelled out $250. And plus, I'll be paying for a convention coming up and stuff. So,
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. And now, Mr. Essner.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we change Jay's proposal a little bit to basically put out something, either the newsletter or a separate something that we put out. And in it, we would say what LEC members have committed to this, and send it only to lifetime members, not to everybody. So reach out to lifetime members and ask them if they're interested in donating $5 per month. We have X amount of people on the LEC board who are doing $5 a month, something like that. And that probably doesn't need to be done right now. That's something that Jay and them could talk about.
Thank you, Charles. And that was a motion you were making?
I'll make it. I'll make it a motion. Jay, that sound good to you? We take volunteers. So the motion is that we put out in the newsletter a request, or we put out a separate message to lifetime members. So we gotta make a decision which way we would like to go. In it, we would say, we're asking for people to set up a reoccurring donation of $5, whatever number we specifically want to call out, a month. And these members have agreed. I'm saying LEC right now, but if, for example, Andy wants to volunteer to donate, he can also have his name added to the list of people who have voluntarily said that they would pitch in.
Others have their hands up. So,
All right. Well, Charles did make a motion. Does the motion have a second?
I'd like to speak to it because we have to understand what it means. I'm not sure that if you're sending only to life members, that's a specific mailing, so we can't do that. I would be happy to sit with Donna and craft whatever section in our newsletter. It's kind of an appeal. And if someone is suggesting that we also, as Andy says, a wall of shame, well, just say, hey, these are the people, and maybe every month add the people who are, put the additional names of people who are signed up for that, who are agreeing to that. Something like that that can be. I hadn't thought about it like that, but it can be kind of self-encouraging or something. Another person signed up for $5 a month. It's nothing. It is not nothing. It is not nothing, but it is very little, and most people will. And sorry, and most people will be able to manage it. So if you're saying put it in the newsletter, I would agree with that. But you can't do it any other way. You have to go to everybody.
All right. So how about we say this? So I'm making a motion that Jay and Donna put in the newsletter a request for people to make a commitment of a certain number. We're not going to specify a certain number of dollars. And we are going to, for now, take any volunteers on the LEC who are voluntarily going to put in. They don't have to specify the amount, just that they are doing it. And every month, whoever puts in, unless they miss 3 months in a row, they would get removed from the newsletter. So you're
So we're
able
listing
to
we're listing names. Is that what we're talking about?
in the
I'm
newsletter. Yes. So
Uh,
what I'm saying is, okay, so let me start over. So make a motion to take volunteers from the LEC who will put in a commitment of a certain number of money. It just has to be a certain number. It doesn't have to be a specific amount. That way Duke doesn't have to track anything. It can be whatever. We would, if donations are missed for 3 months, if someone makes a donation, they're put in the newsletter as a reoccurring donor to the party. If they do not make a donation after 3 missed donations, so 3 months, they would then they would be pulled off of the, their name would no longer be mentioned.
If I may offer a friendly suggestion, unless I'm mistaken, and Mr. Duke can correct me, it's relatively easy to see the total number of recurring donations that we have coming in each month. It might be easier and more respectful of the members' privacy to just detail the total amount of recurring donations we've already gathered to support our annual operations.
Yeah.
That works.
I think that might allay some concerns.
So we don't need to name anybody. I was only trying to help with Jay, trying to show we had people who were saying they were trying to support the party. So if we want to remove the names, that's fine. And
we
just
could
say
even
this
go
many
so
people.
far as to say we have a total of 10 board members who have made this commitment, and in total every month we're receiving X number of dollars.
Or maybe put the first people on. Maybe put the people on, the first group. These are all the people that have signed up for $5 a month, and anybody else, board members or not board members, people, district members, anybody out there signs up for something. They go on one time, and then we keep track of the total.
Yeah,
But
let's not mention names. Let's
It's
just
a lot
say
of work.
let's not mention names. We'll just say 5 people are reoccurring members donating every month to the party. Thank you very much. Please consider donating.
All right. Well, we do have some other hands up, so we'll go Miss Carver.
I'm starting to like it more the more you guys are workshopping it, because I'm not comfortable with names. I'm also not comfortable with pointing out that certain people have not donated or committed to such. It seems like coercion, and we're supposed to be against coercion. I'm all for people donating and giving recognition in some way if they would like to be recognized. But yeah, I'm not good with coercion and kind of naming people and not naming people and putting people on the like basically kind of forcing them so they don't feel bad per se. And I'm doing air quotes, but you know what I mean.
It can't be that. It can't. You're right. It just can't. It just can't be that. So giving some people credit for doing it and then not letting it rub off negatively, maybe, but it just can't be a sense of you're passing a test or joining a club or whatever. Mostly this is a private commitment that I'm asking us to think about. So it's charity, guys, really, first.
Oh, Mr. Jeska?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, I strongly oppose Mr. Gillott's idea about skin in the game. I think that, most successful nonprofits or not-for-profits require their board members, if they can, to make, and oftentimes very substantial contributions. That we're not asking for that. So I think the idea is sound, but I'm baffled by this insistence upon monthly donations. I absolutely will not do that. I've been a life member for several years. I've contributed more than $60 for the last several years. I simply don't want access to my bank account. That's my choice. And I don't like this idea, sort of this wall of shame. I think it's fair to ask board members, maybe when they come on board, when we elect new board members, that they be asked to make a commitment. But to do this, I oppose.
Having heard that twice, I think that there might be some room for Jay and Donna to definitely work in a link for, in addition to recurring donations, one-time donations as we reach out for those donations. And I do appreciate you bringing those concerns to the table, Mr. Jasko. Mr. Johnson.
First, I have a port of order, parliamentary inquiry, whatever it is. Has this received a second? Are we debating?
I heard a second, but
was there a second?
I don't have a second written down yet. And the motion is
that has not even received a second yet.
Charles. Jay just made the proposal. Charles made the motion that Jay and Donna put an article in the newsletter requesting people to make recurring donations and using the total number of LEC donations to hopefully inspire others to donate. That's sort of what I got
and I
from all the
thought Jay had seconded that, but I may have been mistaken.
Okay.
Not what it was not able to be seconded the way it was at that point.
Yes.
It had to be so.
So are you seconding? Is somebody seconding it?
All right.
But Justin, I also have a comment on this since we're already commenting on it. I think at the time when we're sending out the holiday card, which also serves as a fundraiser, to do this simultaneous to that might seem a little bit grasping. This is something we might maybe revisit in the future, but I think at this time it's just poor timing considering that we're about to send out we were told that the holiday card paid for itself and then some last year, so it's obviously used as a fundraising opportunity. And I think Scotty also mentioned that people will be buying packages to convention possibly. I think that putting this off till maybe after the convention might be a better way to go to handle this.
Fair
That's
point. Mr. Duke.
Most of this just sounds like a open discussion, round table kind of thing. I'm not supporting the motion in any way or saying that I wouldn't, but because people have been questioning what can I see and how can I help, I'm just going to say that I can see the reoccurring donations. We could easily create some sort of newsletter section that says these are our top giving members if these people asked to be added to the newsletter. It wouldn't be much work for me. I don't think it would be much for Donna, but only if they wanted to be listed in a, gold tier, silver tier kind of donation. People do like getting recognized.
Thank you for that, Mr. Duke. Mr. Bowman, your hand's up for the second time.
Yeah, this is a motion to table to the March meeting.
Does that motion have a second? Second. All right. All in favor of tabling this matter till our March meeting, please say aye.
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 All
Aye.
oppose? Motion passes. And Charles, we will go ahead and get that email address created for you. I don't believe we need a motion to do so. Just let me know exactly whom you'd like to receive those messages, and Jamie and I will get that set up for you.
Okay, may I speak on it for one quick second just to explain why I put it in there?
Certainly.
Yeah, so no shame on anybody. Donna sent out an email about a situation in the Detroit area where someone was being prosecuted and they needed support at a hearing, and I didn't hear about it until after the fact, and that's made us question how are people able to reach out to us and ask or let us know that there are issues. And the way we found out was after the fact, as far as like our committee went. So that's why we put in to have an email address. That way there's a central location people can send stuff to, and we can forward that to the board.
That makes perfect sense to me, and we'll definitely get that account added for you. All right, and it looks like you had a proposal regarding the Marshall, Michigan mega site, Charles.
Yes, I did. So, excuse me. So I would like to make a motion to authorize the activism committee to work with Donna and the social media people to put out some messaging around the Marshall, Michigan mega site area. Right now, there are weekly protests occurring there, and we would like to organize use this messaging to organize for eventually attending one of those protests, if not more. We do have a member, Zach, in the area. This is to fight against the state coming in and also MEDC corporate welfare and coming over and taking over local control. So basically, yeah, motion is to authorize the activist committee to work with social media and send out an email about Marshall and organize.
Does this motion have a second?
I'll second. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on the matter? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of adopting the motion as stated, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes without objection. Earlier in the week, you all should have received an email that Scotty and I had received regarding a fusion proposal from Mr. Andy Craig, who has joined us on the call here this evening and is available to answer any and all questions about whether or not the Libertarian Party of Michigan would like to get involved in his lawsuit as it pertains to fusion voting. So Mr. Craig, if you wouldn't mind, give us a brief presentation and we'll be happy to hit you up with any questions we might have.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I saw on short notice that y'all were having this meeting, but I'm happy to be able to join and explain this. And congratulations on a couple election wins, Scotty mentioned. Oh, sorry. I've got the C-SPAN on in the background while they were doing the Senate vote. So anyway, for my kind of brief bit of background, I'm working with an org called the Center for Ballot Freedom. That is a coalition of people who have other third-party backgrounds, people in kind of the election reform democracy space. And we are currently involved in ongoing litigation in several states on the state court level, challenging bans on fusion voting, on cross-nominating candidates. I've written a paper that's at the Brainy Center that kind of lays out the whole theory and the argument and why it's a free speech matter. It's a freedom of association principle. I know from my own background in the LP that libertarians can have mixed opinions on whether or not fusion's worth pursuing, and that's totally fine. Our approach is very much that it should be the party's choice. It shouldn't be illegal. But you can certainly consider, I mean, in states where it is legal, in New York and others, New Hampshire, libertarians have occasionally done fusion nominations, and it's a good thing to have the option if you want. So we have these lawsuits that are ongoing in New Jersey, in Kansas, and in Wisconsin. The New Jersey one's pending before the state Supreme Court and is kind of the furthest along. But we're looking at Michigan in particular, and we're talking to our lawyers, and the consensus is having this varies from state to state, but having an already ballot qualified party. would be in a stronger position than coming as a plaintiff trying to be a new party, basically saying we want to do fusion and suing over that. In Michigan, you're in a stronger position if you have an already qualified party like y'all are. And so basically the proposal here would be very minimal on your part. All it would be is kind of signing off to be the plaintiffs, and we have the lawyers, Center for Ballot Freedom and everything. Y'all would be able to see and review what they're filing, of course, but it would be very minimal workload on your end. We would want to talk through a little bit. I might, we can do this on this call or maybe in following up with your chair and officers. It would be primarily the party itself as a plaintiff, possibly also candidates as plaintiffs if there are candidates who want to say, yes, I would run fusion if it was legal. But the party is the main thing. In exchange for that, this is something else we'd also definitely have to work out the details on and maybe not here in the full committee because we'd have to have those discussions. But we do think that we would be able to offer some support to the party in consideration for your participation on this. So I don't want to stick a firm number on that yet. Like I said, that's kind of we need to have those discussions. But that's basically the offer here. I should say, for those of you who are familiar with Richard Winger, he's involved with this and very supportive of it. A lot of good people who do ballot access litigation, people who have third party backgrounds from a variety of parties like the Working Families Party in New York that has long done fusion, so they're involved in this. My pitch would just be kind of on the principle of the matter. This is us trying to sue to get a law struck down, to give parties more freedom, to give candidates and voters more freedom of speech and association. And that's what we're hoping for. And part of the strategy here, I should add, is we're pursuing it in state courts under state constitutional arguments. That's why this is a state by state thing, because the federal courts haven't been as receptive to this argument, but we think there's a good chance we could get a state Supreme Court to do so. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, so I saw Mr. Johnson's hand was up first. Did you have something, Larry, or your hand went down?
I'm reviewing our bylaws right now. I'm not sure if it's in our state or national bylaws. I know that endorsing candidates of other parties has in the past not been allowed under our bylaws.
If I could speak to that, because I've been on twice the National Party Bylaws Committee when I was doing LP stuff more, and this came up. There is a provision in the national bylaws, unless this has changed, it might have since I was involved. This wasn't that long ago, that says you can't endorse somebody who is a member of another party. And this has been debated as if it bans fusion. That's not technically exactly what it says. Like you could have a fusion candidate who's a member of the LP and not of the other party. But that's kind of been the contention. But then, like I said, it's also been the case that lots of state parties and candidates have done it. The National Committee has never really come down on saying, no, you can't do that. That's breaking things. So we did look at that. We don't think it would be a legally relevant problem. Like if you joined this, it wouldn't be the state comes back and says, no, this is against your rules, because that's up to the party. That's the party's internal association and decisions, and the state versus the national, and for y'all to kind of sort out.
Yeah, and my understanding was too that wouldn't necessarily prevent us from nominating such a candidate, only endorsing such a candidate.
Yeah. This came up when I was on the committee because it's a terribly ambiguously worded provision, and whatever it means has never actually been successfully enforced in any way on any state party by the LNC. But that's the background on it.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing
Mr. Bowman? Oh, I'm sorry.
There's nothing in our state bylaws that I see that forbids us from any of that type of activity. And I'm definitely for removing as many laws and rules as possible around people getting on the ballot. Hell, I used to sign for any party that put a petition in front of me to be on the ballot.
Nice. All right, I think there's a few
Yeah,
other
with
hands
that,
up. Justin, whoever you want to.
Mr. Bowman was next up.
Yeah, hi. The question I have is, I just try and make sure I fully understand the effect of this. I believe, if I interpret it correctly, it sounds like this means simply that for instance, in Michigan, the rule that you can't run be on the ballot in the same election for two offices or for two with two different parties for the same office at the same time, that the second part of that rule would be nullified. In other words, that it would be possible that the state would not block me from being a candidate for more than one party, assuming that those parties chose to both nominate. Is that
Exactly.
the effect of it? That, in
Yes.
other words, my name would appear in two different spots on the ballot.
Yeah, there's some potential details about how the implementation works. So like New York style fusion, you would be on the ballot twice. Oregon does it where you would have both party labels on one spot. We prefer having the separate lines, but that's the less important part. But yeah, it's the ban on if the Libertarians and the Greens want to both nominate the same candidate, they can. Or Libertarians and Democrats or whatever other combination there might be.
And Ms. Thornton, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My husband grew up in New York. He's a big fan of fusion voting. He's constantly irritated because you can't do it here. Having said that, this is a huge proposal. I mean, you're asking us to get involved in a lawsuit, and we haven't. I mean, I think we're going to need more time. Is there anything in writing that we can get? How do you want us to move forward from here? Because I mean, clearly, I don't think we're going to vote to do this tonight.
No. No, I agree on that. I had approached Scotty and Justin a couple weeks ago, and they said let's wait until after the election because we're busy with the elections, which is totally understandable. And then I saw today, could I hop on this meeting to chat about it? So no, I don't have the detail. This is kind of just a agreement in principle, kind of tentative discussion. I'm not expecting y'all to vote to approve anything, and we would get all that to you formally in writing and have all the other details spelled out. I don't have that immediately at hand because this was kind of just supposed to be the initial discussion and see if y'all would be hopefully interested. But we would be able to move pretty quickly on that. If the sense of the committee is that y'all are cool and want to consider a kind of finalized, fleshed out, sign on the dotted line thing, we'll get that to you very quick.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Carver?
Darn it. I would feel like this would be something we should kind of put to the membership because this would affect the membership as well. Maybe it could be something that we bring up as a proposal during convention or at least send out lots of information to the membership for this and get their input because this, as people stated, we've been involved in a lot of lawsuit type things and we just want to I would want to make sure that the people really want it, the members want it.
I think given our earlier discussion, it could easily be crafted in the form of a resolution and presented to the body. We've already agreed that resolutions will be in order. So, and I feel like getting involved in a lawsuit would probably be something of that nature. So that's a point well taken and certainly something we can consider, Ms. Carver. Did anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Any further questions for Mr. Craig while he's here this evening?
So I will just say, I mean, that's entirely up to y'all what degree of internal process you want to have on making this decision. I don't know when your convention is. I mean, we are looking to move on this relatively quickly. Like we were hoping to get it filed probably early next year, January-ish. So I mean, we can certainly have that discussion and certainly let me know what y'all are thinking on kind of the timing of when you could potentially approve and sign on or something. But just kind of from our
If it
end.
were done
That's
at the convention, it could be done on January 17th. We just approved that as our convention date.
Oh, okay. So your convention is January 17th. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be potentially workable for us. I mean, I'll have to follow up with the folks on our end, but I mean, that wouldn't be crazy outside of the timeline we were thinking.
I have a question.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Raphael. So what you're saying is there's not a ton of out-of-pocket expense to bring this lawsuit. Is that correct?
It would be zero out-of-pocket expense for the party, and we would, like I said, we'll need to kind of discuss numbers, but there would be some modest amount of support for the party coming in for your support, but it would not be paying the lawyers, none of that. You wouldn't be on hook for any of that.
Yeah. I would support something like this only because it doesn't cost us a lot, and it would be a pretty highly visible lawsuit. It sounds.
Yeah, I should note there will be a lot of highly public promotion for it. So for our Wisconsin one, I'm going to a conference where I'll be in Madison next week, where we've got kind of the state legal community, the state election law people, some like, I mean, it's not going to be headline news or anything, but there will be some associated publicity, and we'd certainly be happy to have some, I'm a libertarian and here's why I'm supporting it. We could help place some op-eds, that kind of thing.
Well, I think with where we're at this evening, it would probably be prudent if you could email us further details pursuant to the request so that we can sort of review that, go over it, and then we'll maintain some contact here. We can pick this discussion up at our next meeting, and potentially, the resolution could be considered at the convention as well.
Sounds good. When is just so I know, your next meeting?
It will be the second Sunday of December.
Okay.
Just one moment. The Zoom link will be the same. And so that will fall on the 14th.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll be able to make, if we do end up, y'all are doing anything at that meeting, I can make it then too. And yes, I will get basically all the details written up in writing, so that, once you make a up or down decision on it, you'll be good to go. I think Scotty has his hand
And as
up.
I receive them, I'll forward them out to the rest of the board members so that they can review them.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time this evening, Mr. Craig. Is there any opposition to tabling this and bringing it up at our next meeting?
I see Scotty has his hand up. Did you have something, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm not opposing. I wanted to get a word into Andy before he checked out.
Certainly.
Yeah, I would encourage you to connect with Donna, our secretary, who also edits our newsletter, and see and talk to her about the possibility of getting an op-ed published. And that would then be, if that worked out, it would end up being on our site ahead of the December meeting, and probably the newsletter would include it and go out before that as well. And that way, in other words, basically an op-ed expressing your opinion on the matter. And then she could put like a questionnaire, like a link to an online questionnaire underneath for people who wanted to sound off. And that would give us a little chance to get some feedback from members.
I will, that's great. I will do that. And I'm also going to drop in the link here or in the chat here, anybody who's curious, my think tank paper I wrote about this. That's kind of been, it's a couple of years ago now, but it outlines kind of all the thinking and the history, and kind of explains this whole project and why we're doing it and everything. But yeah, I will touch base with Donna.
Yeah, we do have a newsletter going out fairly shortly too, so the sooner the better.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. Any further questions for Mr. Craig while he's still here? All right. Well, thanks again for your time, sir. I do appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
And with that, we are now on open floor. Mr. Estner, see your hands up first.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone we have a committee meeting here right after this meeting. If you're on the committee, you should have received an email. There is no Zoom link in there. So Justin, if we want to maintain this, we would have to remove people who shouldn't be here, since it would be an executive meeting, or else I'll have to let's shut the meeting down. I'll have to log in and send the Zoom link to everybody.
Which committee is that, Charles?
We can continue following adjournment on the same meeting, but that would be only after adjournment.
That's fine.
Okay.
I was just making sure everyone remembered that we still had to meet.
Which committee? Which committee, Charles?
The Comerica committee.
Oh, okay.
All right. Was there anything else for open floor?
I just have one question, Mr. Chair. Did we authorize all expenses that we need to authorize tonight?
We authorized the convention expenditures and the contract there.
Okay. I just want to make sure that included
We
expenditures. I
tabled the
knew.
PO
Okay.
box.
Okay.
Yep. All expenditures were authorized.
Just making sure.
All right. Anything further for open floor? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Don't even think about it.
We are adjourned as of 9:08. If I could have all